Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on a live action remake of Tangled. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So over the last few years, we definitely know that Disney loves making live action versions of its animated classics because they have had some huge box office success. When you think of what they've done over the last 10 years, we've had The Lion King, we've had The Jungle Book, we've had Aladdin, we've also had Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, and it just goes on and on and on. And so Disney has had a lot of success. However, they've also had a few bumps along the way with films that didn't quite hit how they should have. Pinocchio, when they got released on Disney Plus, well, that just sucked. Also, we had Snow White this year, which just really didn't kind of pull in any kind of audience on at the box office or really kind of on Disney Plus. People just didn't really interested in that film at all. And even the live action version of The Little Mermaid also didn't quite hit the same heights. Same thing really with Dumbo. So Disney has had a few kind of, ones that just didn't hit. And so after the sort of failure of Snow White, Disney decided to kind of put on hold a number of projects. Now, one of the things that they have been working on for a while has been a live action remake of Tangled, which is obviously the Rapunzel story. That was a massive hit when it got released in 2010. While it pulled in, I think, over just over 600 million, it kind of went on to become a really massive film in terms of how it connected with audiences. Obviously, then when it was out on DVD and Disney Plus, you got theme park attractions, you've also got the cruise lines, you've got whole restaurants themed to the character. It is a massive character, and it makes sense for Disney to kind of maybe be thinking about bringing it to the big screen because it has been over 15 years since it came out. It's not quite as bad as Moana, which is coming out pretty soon. They've done a live action version of that one. But back in April, it was revealed that the project had been put on hold with a number of other projects. But according to Deadline, development has now re-begun, and also they are apparently looking at the idea, and there were talks in place with Scarlett Johansson to play the role of Mother Gothel. Now, I kind of think in some ways that will be good because, obviously when she's younger, I think that will look, she'll be old enough to be that part. And they can put makeup on her to make her look older, etc. And that could be fun. I'm worried about the fact of, can she sing? I don't really remember her being a big singer in a number of movies, but maybe she can do. I'm just a little bit worried after what we saw with Gal Gadot in Snow White that maybe that's going to be something else that's going to happen. There's been, talks about this Tangled remake for a while. And if it does happen, it still could be very much a few years away because it's still got to go through early development. So, even if they kind of got going at it, I would expect it's going to be a few years until it hits cinemas and then Disney Plus. The film is going to be directed by Michael Gracie, who previously worked on the hit 20th Century Studios film The Greatest Showman, which I loved. I thought that was fantastic. And the screenplay has been written by Jennifer Catlin Robinson. Now, it is important to note that Disney hasn't officially announced anything like this. I probably wouldn't be surprised if they maybe hold off to this till next year's D23 if they are doing it. Or they might even just hold their cards close to their chest until they've kind of maybe even started filming. Because that's kind of been a problem that Disney's had with announcing things too early. So yeah, I wouldn't expect any major announcements pretty soon. Now, whether or not Scarlett Johansson comes out publicly and says anything, who knows? Who's going to be playing Rapunzel? That's going to be another big question. But yeah, I think Tangled was one of the better princess movies. It's one that I definitely like. The music in there, especially when you're at the theme parks and the castle completely changes and all the lanterns are going up. It's just got some amazing music. So I definitely see why they're doing it, and it will appeal to a massive audience if they get the casting right and if they get everything done. Scarlett Johansson, as I said, she's really great in stuff. She's been, fantastic in a number of the Marvel movies and Jurassic Park and all the rest of it. But let me know, do you think this is a good move, a bad move? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.